Hi, my name is Tori Blanchard, and I am going to present my What is You presentation for Comp 210. Before jumping into the artifact that I chose that best defines me, I'm going to give a brief introduction on who I am and where I've come from. I come from a small, immediate family. It's just me, my sister, and my parents, but my extended family is much larger. My mother's side of the family come from Spain and France, and my dad's side of the family come from Canada. And the part of Canada that they come from is called Nova Scotia. It's French Canadian, and both sides of the family ended up residing in Louisiana and still reside there today. My immediate family are the only ones that do not live in Louisiana. We live in a small southern town in Indiana called Floyd's Knobs. We have lived here for the past 13 years or so. And before residing here, we lived in Okinawa, Japan. My dad was in the military, so we lived there for a brief period of time, and I was actually born there. And then we moved here. And the reason that I mention that is because the artifact that I chose ties into Japan. It's a little book called The 7 Lucky Gods of Japan. And in this presentation, I'm going to go over why I chose this and how I actually obtained the book. Besides living in Japan for a brief period of time, I have taken numerous trips there. Since I was young when I lived there, it was hard for me to actually learn about the culture and the heritage there. So by taking trips, I am able to learn where I was born. And so I actually obtained this book the last time I went to Japan, which was in the year of 2012. It was on a mission trip with my church, and it was a year after the natural disasters hit Japan, the earthquake that caused a tsunami. And so we were there just to help wherever was needed. And there was also other missionary groups there trying to raise money, and they were selling artifacts and other items, including this book. And so I actually didn't obtain the book until the end of the mission trip because I couldn't decide what I wanted. But throughout the week, I would ask people that were firsthand affected by this natural disaster what helped them get through it, like how are they getting back on their feet, what keeps them going, and almost all the answers related back to the same thing: their faith, God, and religion. And so I decided that I wanted to learn more about it. So I ended up purchasing this book for $5, and I was able to become more knowledgeable about their religion and their belief in God and the different gods. And so by doing this, I was better able to understand where I came from and the belief that they held. This artifact represents to me something that represents and has also taught me that something firsthand that may not affect you also can affect you in other ways that you might not be aware of. I would have never really thought about how the natural disaster in Japan could have affected me if I wasn't from there. And by going there and looking at it and seeing it firsthand, and like a year later that they still were very far off from being where they were before the natural disaster hit, really hit home for me. And it has taught me to be thankful for what I have and to not take it for granted. And this artifact actually is displayed in my house on a shelf. It rarely ever moves unless someone's actually reading it. And it's a daily reminder for not only me, but also my family to be thankful for what we have. And as a reminder that the little things that you don't think can affect you in ways that you don't know. And I don't plan on getting rid of this book or throwing it away. I plan on actually keeping it and passing it along to other family members. And once they hear the story and how I obtained it and the impact that it has had on me, hopefully it will have an impact on them in a positive way too. Thank you.